Okay. So now we understood on primitive data types, right? We have seen each and every example for all the primitive data types. Now what we are going to do is we are going to see some real-time examples where exactly we are going to use this primitive data types. So can you create a new class saying that a real example? Just keep it as real-time example, whatever you like. Okay. Just give some name. EX data types, right? Whatever the data types we have seen, those things we are going to see now. So add the main class. How are you going to add the main class? Public static void main, and then if you do you remember the shortcut?
PSVM plus tab bar.
Okay, good. Okay. So now what I'm going to tell you is, so we know all the data types, correct? So can you open one Excel sheet? Just open one Excel. So here you keep one heading as data type, and next column it is size, and then the last one is example. Okay. So first one is we'll write all the data types. What is the first data type we have? Byte, correct?
Yes, sir.
BYTE, all small letters, byte. Next one is short. Next one int, int. Next long. Next float, float, float. Next double, double. Then char, char. And the last one is boolean. So you know the char, boolean, boolean. So if you look at, I have given you all the names in a sequential order. Okay. So when I say it is in sequential order, okay, you are going to make it zoom. Yeah. Just click outside first. Click. Yeah. Now press zoom. Okay. So the first one, byte. The size of the byte is 1 byte. Okay. 1 byte. 1 byte. And if it is short, it is 2 bytes. 2 bytes. And the next one, int, is 4 bytes. And the long occupies 8 bytes. And the float is 4 bytes. What is double? 8 bytes, right?
Yes, sir.
Are you getting me?
Yes, sir.
And double 8 bytes you have written. Char, 2 bytes. And the last one is boolean.
Cool.
Boolean is 1 bit, 1 bit. Okay. So I hope this is very basic, but still I wanted to touch upon. So when you are identifying the size, right? 1 byte is equal to 8 bits. Okay. 1 byte is equal to 8 bits. So that is a basic formula, and we no need to think too much. No, that's not required. You no need to write for all of them. Okay.
Yes,
I'm
sir.
just explaining you for Boolean. Okay. So when I say 1 bit as a Boolean, that means 1 byte is equal to 8 bits. That means the Boolean is very small size. Okay. That's what I'm trying to convey here. So now we are going to see the examples. What we wanted to do is just go to the IntelliJ, and there I wanted to write the first example for byte. Generally, whenever you are writing any programs, right? For example, if you are writing a particular student details you wanted to capture. In that case, I wanted to take the age of a student. Okay. So age of a student, uh, can I write byte, byte, byte? Just declare that byte space age is equal to 12 semicolon. And can you print? Can you write age of within the double quotes? Age of a student. Age of a student is. Are you clear now? Where we are using the byte?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So similarly, for example, the next one. Just enter the next one, next line. I wanted to write for one more example. If you wanted to write, you know the range, right? We are not talking about the range again. So what is the range for byte?
Minus 128 to 127.
Okay. If you are talking about only positive values, 0 to 127 also you can consider. Okay. So generally,
Yes,
if
sir.
you consider any values, it will be most likely it is positive. That's the reason 0 to 127 also, whatever the number, if it is minus 128 to 127, whatever the numbers which will fall in between, you can make use of it, right? For example, you have a collection of books. Okay. BYTE, next example for the same byte. Uh, books count. Books count. Books count is one name. Okay. Is equal to something like 55, which should be less than 127. Got it? Are you clear? Can you write the same thing?
Yes, sir.
System.out.println for that. The collection of books. The collection of books is. Okay. So this is one way of making use of the byte data type. Now, what is happening? I am having a particular value which is more than 127, okay, which is not in the range of minus 128 to 127, which is more than that. In that case, I may go with short. For example, in a college, there are so many students. Let us say I have 400 students, right? So 400, I cannot use byte. Are you clear? Right? So what you are going to do is enter short, short student, student count is equal to 400. Okay. So type print that. Okay. For example, if you wanted to write some distance, okay. For example, I wanted to write some distance which is some 1000 meters. Okay. But I'm not going to specify meter there. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to specify 1000. Enter short distance is equal to, distance is my variable. Distance is equal to 1000. Semicolon. We are not going to write meters and all. Okay. We are just writing the number here. So just write the system.out.println statement. The distance is, anything is fine. It's just a notation, right? Yeah, you can write anything. So now if you look at, if you run this program, you will see the output, correct?
Yes, sir.
But what is happening? I have already told you, generally we will not go by byte, short, all these values. In general, we commonly use, what is the data type we use? Int, correct? INT.
Yes, sir.
Int. Next one is int, int. For example, if I wanted to display a particular employee ID, int space emp ID is equal to, let us say, 98495. That is the employee ID. Okay, semicolon. So which is not coming in the short category also. So in that case, what you are going to do is you are going to make use of int. So irrespective of the number, right? If you are going for any common numbers, generally we always prefer to use int data type. Are you clear?
Yes, sir.
So now write system.out.println employee ID is. And similarly, the next one, long. You already know what is long, right? What is long?
We can store large values of int.
Correct, correct. So just write long. Let us say there is an account number. Some of the bank numbers are very big numbers, right? Account number, ACCNUMBER, account number. For example, you take any of the bank numbers 13154765, whatever. You just write certain numbers, okay? Some 11 to 12 digit numbers. And at the end, you keep capital L, capital L. Okay? Are you clear? So this is how you are going to make use of the large numbers with the data type long, long. Okay. So your account number is so and so. And after that, we have float and double. What is the purpose of float and double?
To represent the decimal values.
Hmm. Okay. So to represent the decimal values, whenever you talk about float value, for example, uh, if you talk about student grading percentages, right? So can we use float?
Yes, sir.
Float, write the example, float percentage is equal to, float percentage is equal to 85.12 F, 85.12 F. That means that is the student percentage. Clear? Just write the print statement and then print the value. So do you remember, like there is a difference between when to use float and double, right? So
Yes, sir.
maximum of after decimal, if you are trying to display only 5 to 6 values, where you are going to use float. If it is more than that, then you are going to use double. So you can write a double. Let's say interest rate. Interest rate is equal to, interest rate is equal to, so 9.75023. Why these numbers are very, very important in banking, if you are trying semicolon. Okay, so just print that. Okay, clear?
Yes, sir.
Any questions on this?
No, sir.
So you can remove D also. Just remove D and see whether it is allowing or not. Okay, so there also you'll be able to see the value. For long, for float, you generally give it. For the double type, if you give or if you don't give also, it's fine. Any questions on this?
No, sir.
Okay, the next one is char. Char is a single character, right? The next one, char. So generally, whenever you see any kind of applications in the websites, right, you will have two things. One is gender, correct? Char, gender, char, gender. So that is a single character. Either it is M or F or T, transgender, correct?
Yes, sir.
So single quotes M, single quotes M. So this is how you will be using the char, semicolon. Okay.
Yes, sir. Gender equal to M.
Hmm. Interest spelling you have written wrong. That's the reason that underline it is showing. Okay. That's okay. That's fine. It's a variable name only. Okay. The next one, the last one is boolean. So boolean is always for either true or false or on or off, correct?
Yes, sir.
So for boolean, what I'm going to give you is, so for example, I'm trying to check whether the payment is done or not. Okay. So for that, is small letter is payment done, is payment done, is payment done, P capital, payment done, payment done. That is my variable. Okay. Is equal to true, semicolon. System.out.println, your payment is completed. Okay. Plus is payment done. So if you are not following this, why the payment is done is true means because what is happening, I'll just give you another example. Okay. For example, whenever you go to any ATM center, right? So when you go to the ATM center, there they will ask you to enter your account type, savings account or current account, right? First you will be pressing those buttons and then only the system will allow you. So when you press savings button, whatever you press, right? So that will go into one variable and say that that is yes, and then only it will move to the next page. That is how the coding will be done. Are you clear?
Yes, sir.
How this value will be used in the program, we will learn at a later point of time. But in general, you have to understand when you give some input to the system could be your ATM machine or your web application, whatever the system you are working. When you are trying to input something, that value will be considered into one variable. So if that is yes, then based on that, they will write a condition and then they will go to the next step. Then only they will provide you the money. For example, in the ATM, when you enter the amount, your total balance is 5,000 rupees and you are trying to withdraw 6,000 rupees. Will the system give you 6,000 rupees or will the system throw some error?
We'll throw some errors, sir.
Correct, because insufficient balance. So what is that logic they have written? Based on the input, if the account has proper funds, then only provide by deducting the amount from the account. Otherwise, show the message saying that insufficient funds. That is what the logic they are going to write. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Can you go back to the Excel sheet where we have written? So we'll just recap all the real-time examples what we have seen. So here, age of a child for the first one, age of a child. The next one, total number of students. You can have anything, but I'm just giving you a summary. Okay. Hmm. For int, what are you going to give? You want to look at the system? Yeah, you can look. Employee ID, correct?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, write it. And long bank account number, float percentages. What is double? Interest rate, INTEREST. Okay. So char, gender, and boolean is true or false. Okay. So that means payment is done or not. All those things will comes as part of either true or false or on or off. So those things will be as part of boolean. So these are all some of the real-time examples for our data types. But we are going to do certain programs once we understand the rest of the basic concepts also. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Let's move on to the next topic. You can close this file. Before we move on to the next topic, right? So we had uh, earlier we discussed like there are two types of data types. One is primitive data type and another one is what is another data type?
Non-primitive data type.
Non-primitive. Okay. So we are not going to touch more on the non-primitive data types. Okay. So just write these non-primitive data types. What are non-primitive data types?
Array, strings, and class, sir.
Arrays, strings, and classes. We will discuss that as a separate topic. We are not going to discuss anything at this point of time in the non-primitive data types. Clear?
Yes, sir.
So the next topic we are going to do is Java typecasting.